Perhaps at first she failed to appreciate the full furore she had generated. Perhaps she thought pushing on through would make it go away. But there was no way the black MP at the centre of a racism row was going to go unchallenged. The storm emerged from a Twitter debate in the wake of the Stephen Lawrence case. A journalist complained about the use of some terms by the media, saying, "I do wish everyone would stop saying the black community, though. Which one? I hate the generally lazy thinking behind the use of the term. Same for black community leaders." Diane Abbott replied, "I understand the cultural point you are making, but you are playing into a divide and rule agenda." The journalist says, "Maybe. I find it frustrating that half the time these leaders are out of touch with black people they purport to represent." Abbott then wrote the immortal line, "White people love playing divide and rule. We should not play their game." Those few words evoked a veritable avalanche of attacks on Twitter. Abbott was accused of being racist, but when confronted by Sky News, insisted her remarks had been misrepresented.
Well, I was actually referring to the nature of 19th century European colonialism, but that's a bit much to get into 140 characters.
But if you look at it out of context, saying white people love to divide and rule is a pretty controversial remark if people don't see it in context. Do you accept that it was not a wise thing to put out there?
I think the tweet was taken out of context, and some people have interpreted it maliciously.
Well, explain for us then, and for viewers who are talking about this, so there's a lot of Twitter activity going on. Explain to us what you actually meant by the comment. Sure. Yeah.
I just need to...
Sure.
Hi. Can I just...
That phone call, we understand, was from Labour leader Ed Miliband to give Abbott a dressing down and tell her to apologise unreservedly. By lunchtime, she had issued a statement saying sorry for any offence caused, but many still think she's got a lot of explaining to do.
I think what Diane Abbott said was just a stupid and crass generalisation. She should explain and apologise for what she said.
Beyond crass, say plenty of others. There have been calls for the Labour leader to sack the MP for the kind of remarks others simply wouldn't get away with.
Imagine if it was somebody from the English background saying it against somebody from the minority background. There'd be a huge outcry on race issues. Therefore, I would say they should be treated with equal severity, and also I think in those respects there is no justification, no explanation can justify the completely unacceptable comments made by Diane on this occasion.
And yet in her ethnically mixed Hackney constituency, people seem prepared to cut Abbott some slack. Most say she's been foolish, yes, racist, no.
I'm sure just a slip of the tongue and she feels bad about it. I'm sure she regrets what she said.
I wouldn't say it was an incitement to racial hatred in the slightest. I just think it was probably an unguarded comment.
It's the wrong thing to say, and especially when you're in the public eye anyway. It's the wrong thing. You've got to be careful how you word things anyway, so she's not helped herself.
The comments just shouldn't have been made. It's a sensitive subject and the comments shouldn't have been made, full stop.
And perhaps that's the point. Whatever she meant, Diane Abbott seems guilty at the very least of an error of judgment. A seasoned campaigner against racism putting comment on social media which exposed her to the charge of being racist herself. Michelle Clifford, Sky News, Hackney.